Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and today is Woo Woo Wednesday. So I've got my buddy Public Awakening joining us. He was with me at Shitcoin conference in Miami this weekend. So we'll be talking about that and some other things. So if you guys will use this time, we're going to take a quick break. If you'll give us a like, share this video, and invite some friends to join you on Woo Woo Wednesday. Check it out. Welcome to Woo Woo Wednesday. How are you, Public? You're all kinds of geared up.
I'm just dealing with some of my new swag I got here. I got a lot of stuff this weekend. Like this hat is made for like somebody with the head the size of a bowling ball.
Yes, they fit me perfectly.
I got like a pin. I was very kind to my mother. I'm just saying, I was very respectful to my mother when I was born. Look at this thing. It's like a small football. Just boop, not a problem. Seriously, like I got it set like small. It's like it'd easily go. Anyway, so I got some.
It does look huge on you.
I got some Monarch stuff, and he was giving out the good stuff. It's got like the little hologram on there and stuff. These are like these are really nice hats. These are. I'm surprised anybody was giving away like hats that nice.
Yeah, I've got a few Monarch. So if you watch Robert Beetle's channel, you can go to his website, Crypto Beetles, when he does a show, and you can enter in, and he'll give. He wrote a book about Bitcoin. He's got merch. He was giving away Monarch token. I don't know if he's still doing that, but
cool.
Great guy.
I didn't know he was giving stuff away like that. That's really cool. I got a T-shirt too. I finally got you have the long sleeve shirt with the Monarch logo on the front and the back with the hood. I got the short sleeve version of that. I don't know if you have one of those.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I have long sleeve, short sleeve. He asked me to put in a bid for a monthly sponsorship of our channel. So I'm working on that. I don't know what that looks like. But
I hear he's very good to people. I hear he's very good to his people that work with him for sponsors and stuff.
Well, I've been really promoting the Operation Sunlight project that he's working on, giving people a voice and tangible things that they can do if they feel their voice was stolen or not heard in this last count.
Yeah.
So really pushing that, and he's a fellow patriot, so a lot of respect there for sure.
And some very good genetics going back a long way on that gentleman.
Yeah. Benjamin Franklin.
No, wasn't it Abraham Lincoln?
Oh, I think he's Benjamin Franklin. I think his uncle or something was Benjamin Franklin.
I thought it was Lincoln. Anyway, maybe somebody in the chat will know. Anyway, either one. How cool is that, honestly?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, there's a really cool group of people. I mean, I was like very social this weekend. Normally I just like hide from people, and not do stuff, but there was just so many cool different
people. The
vibe
at Shitcoin was way inclusive, welcoming. I thought it was really great.
It was fantastic. I kind of equated it more to like a house party with like smart things going on, like when you want to define it, but it was like a house party. It was like a get together. It was more like a barbecue, I guess I would say. It was more just like a family barbecue. It had that kind of laid back attitude. Everybody, like you said, was so friendly and nice. And I made so many different friends from people, who I obviously wouldn't have otherwise. It was really, really, really great to see everybody. Congratulations to Ken, to the Brozak. He really put that together, and that was all him. I mean, I know he had people helping him, but that was him.
I was going to say, Annalise was busting her tail.
Right,
Miggy was busting his tail. Biff was busting his tail. Miss Teen Crypto taught a class, and she was chipping in. That's where I think, because it was that community effort, and there was a whole volunteer crew, and then those core people that kind of got it started and were promoting it. It really was a really cool decentralized. And I think that's why it was so successful, is because people really felt like they were a part of Shitcoin 2021. They weren't just attending, but they were part of it.
I completely agree. Everybody felt like you had You're right. I felt almost like, and I didn't even help really, set up or anything at all. I helped out when I could when I was there, but I felt like I was a part of it. I felt like it included me, not just like as an attendee, but it was like, I don't know, like a little more of a closed event.
Well, now you can
like
say you
that.
were at the first ever Shitcoin 20 or Shitcoin, and then we'll keep doing it, hopefully, and
He's
keep
got
growing
to.
that community. Yeah.
He's got to. I spoke with so many people that were asking what I was doing, what they're doing, and stuff, and I just kept saying shitcoin. A few of them laughed like they had heard about it, and then I was like, oh, it was really cool. This happened.
And then
This
they're like,
happened.
"Is that a real thing?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Then they're like, oh wait, really? I'm like, yeah, it was great. Everybody was just hanging out and meeting new people, and it was. I thought the venue hall was really nice.
Yeah.
Had the place across the street if you wanted to walk around, or food was in walking distance anywhere. And Ken bought food for everybody at one point. I don't know if you saw the pizzas.
I saw
There must have been 50 pizzas that came in. I mean,
there were probably more than that.
Yeah,
it was a lot. Yeah.
And there was food, and there was always water out and snacks available and stuff like that. It was very, very cool. It was a great excuse to get out and do something. And then any of the other things, I went to a couple after parties, which for me is like a hell no. I'm not that guy. But I was able to go out to a few after parties. I went to Bitcoin. I went to the last day of Bitcoin, which was really cool. I got to spend the whole day inside there, start to finish, meet with a lot of people, be part of the vibe, hear a bunch of different things, hear a bunch of speakers that I wouldn't have normally heard. Saw some new products that I saw my favorite watch guys. Like I like watches. Everybody knows. Actually, I don't even have a watch. Here, let's just act like I have it on. So I saw my favorite watch guys, just like these YouTuber guys who go around and they buy and sell a lot of different watches, high-end stuff like I do. And they were there, selling their things and everything. So I got to chat with them a little bit. So I was like a little bit of a fan fag. I was like, oh, I wasn't like impressed by the Bitcoin people. I was more impressed by like the $130,000 watches that he had out there, which were really cool. There was one guy who had watches that were over $1 million there, several of them too.
Wow.
Yeah,
that seems really risky.
Yeah.
And they had good security.
Yeah. Those people always travel with their own security too.
Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I got to do a whole bunch of stuff I wouldn't have otherwise done. In the back, I don't know. Did you get to go to Bitcoin at all?
I didn't. No.
So
I did not have a pass. It was really expensive. So yeah, I had some friends that Mom A had a wristband and she was gonna give it to me for me to run in there, but then I could only go by myself, and my traveling crypto partner didn't have a pass, and so it just kind of all. But we had a great time at Shitcoin, and then we also went to several after parties and different meetups outside of the event. Went to one that was supporting women in blockchain. It was a lot of fun. And then
was it the Mermaid something or other?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. There was a lot of people talking about that. There was a buzz down there. Whomever threw that had quite a healthy buzz about it.
Yeah, it was a really good turnout. And Gary from Bitcoin Magazine invited me to that, and got a couple invites for some friends of mine. Kat and Becca were there, and John Kim showed up, and my friend Amber was with me, and we all had a great time. And then
is that where 50 Cent was?
No.
Oh, there was 50 Cent was at one of the parties with that Rebecca was telling me about.
No, we were at the club that Paris Hilton was DJing.
Okay.
She had on her little Bitcoin glasses and whatever.
I saw that on thing. It's funny. You went to the party where Paris Hilton was at. I went to the Hilton Hotel on South Beach. We were invited to a penthouse party. It was the top floor. I would assume it's the room that she stays in when she's down there. It was 2 levels, the whole top 2 floors of where this was. It had a big pool on the roof. It was like, stuff like I've never seen anything like that before. Insane. It was just really cool to go hang out, something like that. The gentleman who threw it, I mean, I don't even think he was big into cryptos. He wanted to learn about cryptos. So he's a well-to-do guy. I think he had something to do with real estate, and just invited some people over, and I guess trying to learn and get a team going. It was pretty neat. It was a pretty cool event, having people serve me drinks on it. By the rooftop pool at the Hilton Hotel, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Was there a project or a new coin or project that you saw that you were really interested in? Did you find anything new?
as far as actual like crypto stuff, like solely, I wasn't really paying too much attention to any of the new technologies or products that are out. But one thing I really did like that was new, that at least new for me, I've never seen it. They called it a DDP, the decentralized dance parties. I don't know if you heard or saw what was going on with that. There's like these two guys. He was the one guy who jumped on stage. I don't know if everybody saw clips at Bitcoin, and he had a suit on and he pulled off his shirt and it had the Doge. So these guys, there's two of them, and they go around literally like they have this really cool tricked out golf cart that like an artist sculptor made, so it looks like a mushroom or something weird like that, right? And then like they have shopping carts where they have big giant speakers, like you'd have in like a big system or like a DJ speakers that were really loud but like battery powered and stuff. And they just walked. They like went past bars and people would just come out and like follow them like the Pied Piper. And
funny.
When it started, there was like 10, and by the end there had to be 100 or more people just literally dancing in the middle of a rainstorm in the middle of a street. And like it was really cool. And they were like sponsored by Doge, and they were giving Doge away at some at different points and stuff like that. Supposedly they fund the whole thing with their Dogecoin. So, I'm not going to make fun of Doge anymore. I mean, it's got use case. It's got the decentralized dance party.
It has some serious market cap as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put together a video of the thing. I thought I was going to get it done last night, but I just was not feeling well, so I did not get it done. But I was trying to find the one when we were all eating lunch, and the guy starts, remember the guy on the scooter?
The guy on the scooter. I remember a homeless guy banging on the window when we were eating
Well,
pizza.
Not that one. This is another guy. Same place, same event. Hold on, let me see if I can. Why would I have to? How could I send this? Oh, I have to be off airplane mode for one.
Oh, that'll work.
And then there was a guy dressed like Iron Man. I'll try to find that one too.
I don't think I saw that one.
It takes all kinds. Open.
It was a very cool. Did you see? Okay, in the Bitcoin conference, these are Venezuelan banknotes, 50 bolivars of Venezuelan banknotes, and one of the what's that? Oh yeah, I saw him. I remember him.
This guy living his best life.
He's loving. He's sitting on a speaker there. That's what I didn't realize at the time.
Yes.
That's a big DJ speaker. I just thought he was sitting on a seat, but as soon as you could hear it and everything, he was getting down. I mean, it's just jamming. It was really cool. So this real quick. This was 50 bolivars. This is the money from Venezuela, and we all know what happened. Just happened to their markets and currencies and stuff like that. So there was a time when this 50 bolivar note would buy you some good things in Venezuela. Yeah. It was like they had a strong economy. So what they did as a statement piece or as an artistic piece, what they did was they filled a whole dumpster with these, like literally a large 20-foot dumpster, and they filled it with this, and it was blowing around all over the place, and like it made such a great statement.
Rice Crypto has a video of it on his channel. If you go to Rice Crypto TV, he's got a video of it.
There's some pictures too. I guess I should have put this. I took some selfies with it, but it was just a really great statement to show, this is not even worth, a fraction of what it costs to print with all this devaluation that they've had. This is, I think one of these is like 5 or 6 zeros and then a 1, of a cent. It's worth nothing.
Less than the paper it's on.
Oh,
then there's this guy. Here's Iron Man with some kind of coin around his neck.
That's a big dude.
I think it's a Litecoin, but I can't tell. He had a big chain, but there was a coin on it. So.
Oh, that's really cool.
There were all kinds of people there.
That's really funny. You see when they have like the what's it called? Something con, where they have Comic-Con, where everybody dresses up in all their outfits and stuff like that. There's these cool, for there's coin geek conventions. There's costume movie geek conventions. There's all. If you're a geek, it's a good time to be a geek. You got all the.
It is a good time to be a geek. I agree with that.
It is. I'm telling you. So what else? What else happened there? So, I saw the height of stupidity in Florida. Florida now takes the cake as possibly the stupidest thing I've ever seen. No, definitely, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. We were talking about. We got there. They're one of the first states to like open up fully from the disease, and I was very, very surprised to see how many people, locals, still had their diapers on their faces and stuff like that.
Okay, so I saw some of that, but I wondered if those were people that were visiting. Like, it's kind of a touristy area.
All the Uber guys had it on. I don't think
they
it's
have
just
to because Uber tells them to.
Oh, okay, all right.
So, and then we'd get in the car and I go, "Don't put that thing on for me." And they're like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
No,
I still saw far more people than I would have assumed. Because Jersey had just opened up the week before, and I, in your average store, I thought there were less people in Jersey wearing them than down there when I walked through Target, and stuff like that.
Well, I think there's this other thing where like people don't know what they don't know. Like when I went into, once again, I go to fly out in Miami to come home and I go through TSA. I have no mask on, but everyone's wearing a mask. And someone thinks that they've been told that you have to wear a mask in an airport. And you don't until you get on their private plane, on their business, their private business. And so I just was really surprised being in an airport in Florida that literally everyone had their mask on but me. And so, but I've had that a couple times when we travel where, we'll get somewhere. When we went to Arizona with Bix, the minute I got off the plane, take my mask off and everybody's like staring at me. I'm like, you too don't have to wear a face diaper.
Fresh air is going to get you. Fresh air is going to get you. It's going to get you.
The dangers of breathing fresh air.
So the height of stupidity I saw, I got to tell you, it's a no helmet state down there. So you don't have to wear helmets when you're riding your motorcycles. And I was, having fun watching all the crazies drive around without their helmets on. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's, some people were doing that. That's cool. I would personally not do that. But to see them racing down the streets, doing wheelies, doing like the whole thing, playing off the stoplights with a group of other motorcyclists all up and down the roads. They were doing it without helmets on, riding wheelies full length of the block, but had a paper, face diaper on their face. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of convinced. I'm confused where the disconnect at that point between which one is more important to your health. Is it the hard thing that protects this or the little piece of paper that does nothing?
No, I saw the same thing. I saw people on mopeds or scooters with face diapers on. And I just was like, at what point is your brain not functioning? It's the same thing as the people in the cars by themselves and no helmet. Yeah.
I don't know. It was really crazy. It was something else. I don't know. Did you see any new things? Did you see any new technologies or products that were looking promising?
I talked to a guy named Jason that we might have on that his company, it's a legacy family company and somehow they're linking it with cryptocurrency, but he has like some kind of tether here on Earth and then they shoot stuff up on a line to outer space and you can launch different things. I don't know. It was really interesting. And then I got to spend some more time with Mame's company that she's working with, Moss, and talk to them more about the carbon credit thing. Although I'm not a believer in global warming, I do understand about pollution and contamination. And, when you do your research on what some of these big companies coming in and eating up the Amazon and leaving waste behind, I think there's a way and there's projects that are really doing a good job with some of that to restore the Amazon. And so I think there's a lot of value in that. So I was excited to learn about that. And then I got to have dinner with Nick got in town from Divi and said, "Hey, where are you? Come have dinner with us." So my friend Amber and I went and had dinner with them. I got to sit right by Jeff McCabe and pick his brain about cryptocurrency
That's
and the Divi project and things going on. So that was exciting. And he's working on a new project that I'm not going to discuss it yet because I can't remember if I was supposed to tell or not. I'll wait till I double check. But just a lot of really exciting, new things. I'm watching blockchain turn into so much use case, whether it's, replacing contracts and issues for the need of lawyers when people are dishonest and don't meet their contractual responses, to the currency issue, the announcement from the El Salvador president was huge. And Amy and I did a whole show on that yesterday and talked about some of the tax implications and what that means as it becoming legal tender. And I think we all found out this morning that did pass. And so Bitcoin is now officially legal tender in El Salvador. And what that means is it is legally foreign currency for the rest of us, which is very exciting. So
well, that changes a bunch of rules as far as
changes the capital
taxation and stuff
gains,
goes.
all of that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So really exciting stuff. And then Jean-Claude had me on early. I bailed on him last night because I was just way too sick. Supposed to do a show with him and Ken, the scientist from Purple Power C60. If you want to buy your Purple Power, use my link in the description because it helps the channel out. I get a little check every month, every time somebody buys some Purple Power C60. And I take it every day. So
me too.
Good stuff.
For me, it's absolutely the best product I have ever put in my body for health and wellness and healing and all that kind of stuff. I go on and on and on about it. But
well, and it's so
C60
safe.
is it's so safe if you do your homework on it and read about it and read about what other people's experiences are with it, and the history of how it was founded and brought into market and stuff like that. It's something I think that a lot of people should really look into. I think a lot of people could be, surprised with how well it helps them. But I'm no doctor. I just play one on YouTube.
There you go. Well, I just like that it's really safe. It's not going to harm you or interact with your body in a negative way. There's actually no possibility of you overdosing with it. They tried in animals and it's not even possible. And then it really we're all in this, the stress environment with, environment pollution, as well as stuff in our food, and all of that. And so it takes those oxidized is it free radicals?
Free radicals, yeah.
Free radicals.
Oxidative stress.
Oxidative stress in your body, and it takes that out of your body, so you don't have that in your body.
It's the 1-2 punch. So not only does it pull it out of your body, it then sends in, it causes your body to produce something like 2,000 or 3,000% more stem cells than you could ever produce on your own. So the stem cells then go in and actually repair all of the damage that was done by the oxidants and the free radicals.
Well, that's one thing I've noticed since taking it is I have degenerative disc disease from L1 to L5 and S1. And I would even have trouble, like especially plane rides, anywhere where I have to sit still for too long, or I'm cramped, then my back just turns into concrete. Like I can't move. And I did great going to Miami back. On the way back, it was a nonstop. So it was like 3.5 hours to fly home. And I was comfortable, and drove home and was great. So you'd start noticing those things in your body and you're like encouraged to keep going. So
absolutely.
Definitely. Oh, but so I was supposed to be on that video with Ken and JC last night, and then I was too sick. And then today I feel a lot better. I've been taking my C60 and I've been taking vitamin C and taking care of myself. And so he asked me to come on and do a show. And I got to talk about some of the stuff that you had brought to my attention about the whole Basel III thing and how that affects banking. And I had talked to my buddy, Chris Marcus, about it. And I was like, wait, could this because the banks are in trouble with the dollar being printed to nothing and having less and less value and people running to things like Bitcoin and physical silver. This is kind of a way that banks can offset their assets on their spreadsheets to show that they have more assets. As they move into Basel III, it's required of them by January, but a lot of them are saying, the whole list of them, JP Morgan, and I can't remember all of them, say that they're going to be in compliance by the end of this month, by the end of June.
Right.
And that you were saying it allows them to have where previously they had, if they had gold on their balance sheet, they could only take 50% of that as an asset and had to report the other 50% as a loss.
Right.
And once they go Basel III, they can show 100% of that as an asset.
Of current market value, which is a big
Okay.
deal. They're not just pegging it to some different number. It's a floating, market value. So if,
And if we know they manipulate it, then if they're trying to salvage their asset balance, they're going to run the price of gold up themselves, wouldn't you think?
Up. That's
Yeah,
everything they've ever done. Every time a bank's ever held an asset, they've tried to pump it up in order to either dump it onto somebody else or to make their books look better or for the trade itself. But yeah, I think this is going to start turning back into I think that's probably the first step into actually having sound money back, where the banks are willing to hold it and not be penalized with it. Central banks, the big ones, the ones who buy the hundreds or thousands of tons at a time.
So I had a question for you because I don't remember in the information that you sent me and I went through. Does that apply to silver as well, or is that only gold?
To be honest, I'm not sure, but
Okay.
if it's not officially by gold, if it's not officially counting silver, then I'm sure it will on secondary markets, or just because whatever gold does, silver follows.
Okay.
So I can't see. To answer your question, I can't see the price of gold going up because of Basel III and having silver stay the same. I think they would.
Not be affected.
I think they would. I think they would rise together.
Because Cliff's data showed silver running first and then cryptos, and showed like $600 silver.
Yeah.
So that could possibly happen this year.
Yeah. Yep.
Very
That's. We're due. We're certainly due for it as far as having every other asset class running. When we get a little down on the current situations of things, and sometimes maybe we're not really exactly sure what's really going on. Those are things we can still look at. We can still look at the price of cryptos, and Bitcoin are still going up. There's the tax agencies aren't available or doing their jobs. There's just all these different things. People's credit. I saw you on Jean-Claude's channel before. I mentioned some people were having their credit cards balances being removed, and student loan payments and stuff disappearing and stuff like that. But that
I got a
happened to
letter
me.
today.
Go ahead.
I got a letter today that my PPP loan has been forgiven.
Awesome.
For my small business. So
free money. Get you free money, people.
So I was able to take all that money and put it in Bitcoin when Bitcoin was about $5,000 or $6,000.
Ouch. That would be awesome.
Pretty awesome.
That's fantastic. And then that's probably the last thing they wanted people to do with that money. But hey, it's your money. You get to do what you want, right? They would. For now. That's.
Phil C brings up a great point. $600 silver equals a $50 Big Mac, and we're already seeing that. They're trying to cover it up with these fake shortages and saying that there's, they're also doing things like a package of bacon used to be 18 ounces, then it went to 12 ounces. Now it's down, or it was 16 ounces, 12 ounces. Now it's down to 8 ounces, and the price has doubled. Right. So they're really not, they're trying to hide that hyperinflation. I think that whole hack, and I talked about it on JC's channel, with the pipeline, that whole thing was just a joke and a cover up for a reason to make, gas go up. So
I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. We're at a point now where stuff's, I think, really starting to happen. And, even if it's not out in the mainstream, you just look at all of the things that are happening as a whole, and you can see which directions things are going.
Well, and in the El Salvador announcement, and knowing that they're going to be pricing things in Bitcoin. And, we talk about Nicera Jacera. Mm-hmm. Is this part of the revaluation of currency? Is that going to Bitcoin? And are we going to start seeing Bitcoin and gold, kind of the US dollar? People stop using that as a measuring stick or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
How it's going to all happen.
Yeah, I mean, my original idea was always it was just going to be like the shotgun start, like is talked about. It's just gonna happen. There's going to have to be hard and fast rules of which people are going to follow. With constitutionality of things. If this happens, we're not only talking about money and gold and silver. We're talking about the return to constitutional law and all that comes with that. The removal of the tax agencies. That's also part of the whole thing. So. Yeah, I think it would take a little while maybe for people to follow the rules, but I think the change would kind of have to be set. I don't think we would have to, as a society, figure it out as it goes along. Maybe like for individuals we will, but we'd be figuring out the best way to do what they're laying out.
Just thinking like in El Salvador right now, if you go to Bitcoin, there aren't the same tax implications. And then maybe you still have local taxes. Maybe you do it's the sales tax only, which is kind of the Nasera thing, but not that income tax, through that. I don't know how. I'm curious to see how it rolls out, how those are going to change. I know that it affects the capital gains tax, and the president has said there will not be capital gains on Bitcoin for El Salvador citizens. Right. And then because of that, it becoming a legal tender, then it's now considered foreign currency. And so for the rest of the world, there are not capital gains tax implications. But as far as like in country taxes, I'm curious to see how that kind of plays out. Do they still have income tax, and do they still have their local sales tax?
As part of GESERA, it's my understanding that the world would go to basically like a VAT tax, like a flat 14% or 12% or something like that. And that's all it would just be. It would just be a flat tax, and it would be.
And it's only on new items, right?
Supposedly only on new items. Yeah, no necessities, no medicines, and no secondhand or used items, which I think they're going to really be pushing the secondhand and the used side of things, just so we stop, consuming resources a little bit. I mean, it's the easiest way just to recycle, rather than have the idea in your head, you got to go out and get a new car every few years. You got to go get this. You're going to a wedding, so you got to get, of course, new shoes and, new dress and all this kind of stuff. I think a lot of that mindset's going to be changing also.
I saw a Levi commercial. And so back in the day, I don't know if you guys know the history of Levi's, but they were, work clothes. And back in I want to say it's railroad kind of is where they were focused Even first, it was the California Gold Rush. Okay.
It was even before. Yeah.
Okay. So, and they were supposed to last a long time. And so now I just saw this commercial where they're talking about buying fewer items and having them be more valuable and lasting longer and wearing them more. And so that they're already sending that messaging out about, we're not, because right now, H&M, we can get a $16 top because we have a, 8-week fashion cycle instead of where, it used to be spring and fall, fashion cycles. Now it's every 8 weeks, there's a new fashion cycle. And so they made this disposable clothing, but it's really unhealthy for the economy and the environment and everything. So it's just kind of exciting to see those little drips where we see them and go, oh, I know what narrative that goes along with.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying GESERA is happening, but sure are a lot of things that line up with that line of thinking. So really interesting.
Yeah. And then, like I was saying before too, the credit cards, I know a lot of people whose balances have disappeared. I had my credit card balance disappeared all on its own. No explanation of where it went, why it was paid off. And my credit score went up from it, which is really weird.
We have one credit card that it just says zero balance. And we're like,
okay.
But if you go into it, all the transactions are there, but it says zero balance.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, tell me another time where, number one, the government made getting unemployment for people easy. They had so many different rules. In fact, this time you're even allowed to work. In New York, you were allowed to collect unemployment. And a lot of the popular thing was when it opened up, about this time, a little earlier, about this time last year, they were, X amount, you can only have X amount of people, you can only work X amount of days. It was, doing stuff like that. Wait, come on, I just trailed off a little bit. Something about New York, I lost it.
About getting unemployment.
I looked over at the baby and it was done.
Yeah, you could be working in New York.
Oh, yeah. So unless you were working, that's where I was going. Thank you. Unless you're working your full regular work week, if you were only working 3 days a week or 4 days a week, you were still allowed to collect unemployment, like your full benefits. So they had regular benefits and then they had the extra benefits. And then if you were working 4 days a week, you still had basically all or almost all of your other pay. So people were really, doing well. I know a lot of people are down on that. People, the extra $300 people were giving, getting in their paychecks, and it's going to hold people back. It's going to stop them from going back to work. But, maybe that's part of the whole thing too. Maybe those people, aren't going to be, taken advantage of and working, these bad, low wages anymore and things like that.
One of the things
it's a weird transition,
Yes, definitely. One of the things I talked about on JC that we've talked about, and I looked into what Jubilee means because I was concerned that people were hearing us talk about Nasera Jacera and like thinking they should go out and charge up stuff or take a loan out of something, and that's really biblically, that's not what it's about. It's about making you whole. Just like if you're in a lawsuit and somebody frauds you, or there's fraud committed, then they make you whole. It's not that you get what you think you missed out on, what I mean?
Right.
Those gains above. And so you're brought back to your land, or your land, you're made whole. And so that's one of those things where, I guess I kind of lost my point too. But
it happens.
You know what I'm saying? Where
Yeah.
we're like, I don't want people to think, oh, I'm going to, they're hearing us.
Yeah, just go out and rack up the credit card bill because it's going to be easy. Right.
Yeah. It's more about making you whole and doing the right thing. And so who has been stealing from us for years and years and years?
Mm-hmm.
The three-letter agencies through, and all that. And so then is that stimulus and that money coming back, is that part of making them whole?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that is part of the plan of making people whole too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know
or
how
at least,
it's going to roll out, but it's sure rolling out. It seems like it.
Yeah. Or at least maybe making people's lives a little easier through the transition. Not everybody is making more money with an extra $300 on top of unemployment. I know New Jersey's a very generous state as far as unemployment goes. I think it's the highest or one of the highest, where like the most you can get as a weekly benefit would be like $600, maybe something like that. And then you throw in $300 on top of that. I know business owners that are out of business who make millions of dollars a year. I know, CEOs. I know high-level management.
And they aren't
people,
getting anything because
they're not getting right.
Like Charlie had a really great job, was making good money, and because of that, then we don't get any. Even though he was fired last April, we don't get any of that. Thank God for cryptos.
Yeah.
We're okay, and the channel and the support that we get here, and so, but that. We didn't qualify for any of that. He got unemployment for a little while, and then it ran out, a couple months in.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about living in a blue state. They just keep everything going and going. And, you need more? Oh, there you go. No problem. Yeah, they do the thing now. No, yeah. They do the thing now where it's like, we're not even going to tell you what your unemployment's balance is. We're just going to make sure you get paid every week until you're done. It's like they don't even like show you what your balance is anymore. It's really weird.
Just to infinity.
It's like just going into Nasera. They're treating it almost like money doesn't actually really matter so much right now. They give so much away. They're writing off people's loans. They're doing all these different things. It's almost like it just doesn't matter anymore. For those that can see, just like for those that don't wear the mask, and everyone else thinks you have to wear it, but you don't. If you have eyes to see, maybe you can see these things.
Yeah, Interesting. Yeah. There's just so many dots in the story that kind of line up for me. So that's hard for me to deny it,
Yeah.
But
Totally super cool about everything.
do you want to hit on anything else or cut it short a little bit today?
Well, whatever you want to do. I mean, what do we have going on? We've got the Ring of Fire eclipse coming up soon.
Oh, yeah.
Which is pretty
That's
cool.
a great thing to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked at it a little bit. I'm not familiar with every week now. There seems to be a new full moon, a new, triple dog dare you moon. With like there's all these different moons, but this is an interesting one. The Ring of Fire also suggests highlights the Ring of Fire where all the earthquakes are and everything, and the sea and between Japan and the United States there. That's also called the Ring of Fire. And there was a Johnny Cash song too. I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe there's something with that. Maybe there's something with all these space energies going on still. Every day I watch these websites where they say the Schumann resonance is at levels where it's never been detected before, and we've got solar winds coming from directions opposite from the sun. It's like, how does a solar wind come from not where the sun is? But there's a whole bunch of really weird
what
things
else
happening.
was really weird? So they did this whole announcement about, and I shared it on Twitter, that they were going to be doing exercises, military exercises at the Capitol, and people reported seeing Black Hawk helicopters. That was on the 8th.
Mm-hmm. Another event which Penguin 6 just happened to miss all that. People got pictures and videos of it all over the place. That guy didn't see a thing. I don't see it. I missed it all.
Who's Penguin 6?
Penguin 6 is that guy who goes around Washington, D.C.
Oh,
Everybody thinks he's like a mole. He admits he worked for those agencies. Everybody admits he's a mole just spreading BS. He's the one who every time he goes to film, Sleepy Joe landing on the beautiful presidential aircraft, he always just happens to click out, or it goes blurry, like as he's zooming in, as this guy's face is coming down, and then he pulls back and he shows like a separate still picture of him and said, yeah, this is what we saw him. It was blurry, but here it is. I don't know. There's so much more of that crap going on now, where you're getting YouTubers and accounts and social media people just purposely going on, just completely telling you the opposite, like in a coordinated way. So
here's a member of the parliament for Tonga. The Kingdom of Tonga also has laser eyes that are blue, and the president of El Salvador switched his to blue this morning. So I didn't know if that was a Litecoin thing, a Digibyte thing, or just blue for his country. Their flag is that color. But there was another really weird.
Well, the guy with El Salvador did it. Can't that mean cryptos?
I think it was Australia. Where is it?
Wow. So there was El Salvador, and what was the other one that was just up top that you said?
Tonga.
Okay.
And they both have these blue laser eyes.
Which I only know, maybe I'm wrong, but I live a very sheltered social media life. I only know that has to do with crypto stuff.
Well, so El Salvador, is accepting Bitcoin as legal tender. So when he did his announcement, he had the red, yellow laser eyes. And then today he switched it to blue. And so I wondered if it was Litecoin or Digibyte.
Yeah.
And then that Tonga guy also had blue ones.
I got my laser beam glasses.
Makes me curious. Oh, nice.
I forgot where I got these. One of the things.
Oh, and this study came out. Pretty sure Mr. T told us all about that.
I got to take off my laser beam glasses to read that. I can't read what that says. It's on my screen. It's
hydroxychloroquine can boost survival chances by nearly 200%.
No way. No way.
Let's see.
Queen desk. There's so much happening at this point. Sometimes throughout the day, like if you read the news in the morning, it's completely different in the afternoon. I mean, things are really happening that fast.
I'm trying to find the other. There was another country where there was something strange. There was shooting. I want to say it was Australia, and they were like, "Oh, it's just It's just a test. It's just a test. I obviously tweet way too much because I can't even find it.
I would give anything to tweet again. I miss my tweeters. Yeah, they just won't let me on anymore at all at this point.
Oh.
But I'm in good company. So we got Phil in the chat. We've got William Lester. We've got Tom. We got to pull it up on the phone here to be able to see who's in here. We got Ruben Rodriguez. Who else we got? Beer Chicken Wings. I am Polly P. Joe W. I said Phil C, I think. Joe W. New names. A couple new names in here. Welcome, everybody. Magic Torch. High Plains Sister. Hello from Nevada. Hello from New Jersey. Let's see. Joe W. Beer Chicken Wings. EVS in Oz. That one I'm not familiar with. A couple new people. Some new names. Randy. Oh, Randy was here. I don't know if Randy's still here.
All right. I can't
Jim
find
Montgomery,
it. I apologize.
Neo Charm, Ethereal Sunshine, Magic Torch. There he is. What's up, buddy? Give shout outs to the chat room every now and then. It's one of the things I forget to do sometimes because I'm talking and like, I read and then I forget what I was talking about. Like that's like what happens.
Then you get distracted. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't walk and chew gum either at the same time, but whatever. Did you see that fight? That fight was down there at the same time.
It was a money grab.
It was a money grab, but I mean, it was a pretty decent fight. Like there's a huge size difference, a huge weight difference, and they tied. You know, and it's like a world champ, like a 7-time world champion compared to, a YouTuber.
Yeah, but I just heard they hugged it out the whole time for 8 rounds or whatever.
Logan was tying him up a little bit because he's got a big background in wrestling. So he was kind of tying him up a little bit. Like if he was getting too close, he would just tie up his arms a little bit so he couldn't do close damage. But no, I don't think they were hugging each other the whole time at all. I thought it was a pretty strong fight, especially for an exhibition. It was just an exhibition. It doesn't count towards any records or anything.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's why I was saying I just think it's a big money grab.
Well, yeah, no, that's yeah.
Let them be entertained, I guess.
Pay-per-view. I think I read somewhere Mayweather had already made $30 million before the fight, like just selling pre stuff and not the pay-per-view, just like merchandising and rights to things, I guess, before it even happened. He made 30. So supposedly he was going to make $100 million off the deal. I mean, is that insane? I mean,
it's insane. It's completely insane.
Real quick though, I just saw I wrote down, somebody had commented before about the $500 silver equals a $50 Big Mac. And even Cliff was talking. He said $500, $600 silver is a world you don't want to live in. I'm beginning to think that maybe that's not so true, because they said a lot about that in the beginning also about Bitcoin. When it was, $10,000 Bitcoin, what's that going to do to what's that going to do to gold? Who's going to, they always thought it was going to throw in a bigger wrench in the works.
Because they didn't know where the value was coming from.
Well,
I see your point. So if the dollar is dying and it's going into silver and silver's going up, the burger could stay the same. Mm-hmm. It doesn't, 2 things can move without the third moving.
Right. Yeah, I think the way that we thought about it happening a while back was going to be under the guise of the Great Reset of the 16-year plan. Yeah, the 16, the bad one. But I don't think that that's even close to what's happening anymore. So I think to maybe try and imagine the disruption that $500 silver would cost. Yeah, some cost of some products would go up. But there's not an ounce of silver in your cell phone. There's probably not even a gram. There's a very, very tiny amount. So, they're already getting $1,200, $1,400, $1,500 for cell phones these days. What's another $50 or $100 on top of it for the additional cost of the, tiny fraction of the weight of silver in something, in gold and stuff like that. I don't know. I just don't know if that's going to actually be the thing anymore. I think we can actually have high-priced assets in a world where it all hasn't gone to hell yet. I never thought when Bitcoin was 3,000 that it would be 65,000 and that there wouldn't be some serious more stuff going on. You know, they always said if this type of disruption can go out into the market where people are going to be purchasing and using and taking, you know, Bitcoin taking away market share from other things that the dollar is used for, and banking is used for, you know, it's going to be, it would just be, I don't know. I think we can do it. I think we can have high asset prices.
I think in the time of chaos too, I've heard some people talk that luxury items prices will come down because people are worried about food and those, so the necessary items like food and things like that might go up, but luxury items would go down as well, which that makes sense in a time of chaos, you know.
Well, I believe this would only be for a relatively short version, a short span of time, because we're going to have all the new technologies coming online too.
Yeah.
We're going to have unlimited amounts of real money flooding into the system, into the right places, into investing in people and investing in food and health and, you know, the things that Nasera Jacera are supposed to be for the benefit of humanity, not to, you know, just propagate another, you know, power grab through finances or whatever other way they could think of, you know. I just saw Chris Raoul in the chat. What's up, Chris? It's an old friend of mine from high school. A couple guys came over last night. We were hanging out, talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and stuff. I was helping them get started on some exchanges and which you know, wallets I think I liked, and getting them moving on. You know, starting to dip their feet in a little more actively in this, and, you know, cold and hot storage and all this kind of stuff.
I had my hairdresser asked me if I would hold a class at her place, and so I'm trying to figure out what that looks like. If I like charge,
it looks like wine and cheese with a bunch of people. Like that's what that's
thinking, like that kind of thing, but maybe charge for a ticket, and then you leave there with X number of dollars on a wallet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
But X, you know, number of dollars in Litecoin on a wallet or something like that. So they like have the experience of downloading a wallet, saving their seed phrase, make sure that's all secure, talk to them about all that kind of stuff, talk to them about some, you know, hygiene and security kind of stuff.
Phishing scams. Yeah, I touched on all that stuff. Yeah.
Dusting, all that kind of stuff. And then I transfer part of the ticket back to them in a wallet or something. I don't know. That's
a nice way to do it. It's a nice, you know, angle, I guess, if you want to call it. That's a nice way to come out and look at it. Give them back some of what they have in their first transaction. So then you're basically showing them how to set it up, and you're showing them how to transact, you know, all right there. It's nice. You know, my only thought on something like that is, like, I would love to do something like that, but I would just want to make sure I'm not ever responsible if, like, somebody decides to sell their house and buy Bitcoin and, like, doesn't do their wallet the right way or something and tries to, you know, come after, you know.
I'm sure there's some kind of disclaimer or something that you could make them sign. This is not financial advice. I'm not responsible for, you know.
Well, that's what I always do. I always try and word it. This is what I do. This is what I think is good. And, you know, this is you know, what I think. So, you know, hopefully they'll get in and, you know, we'll be able to be a part of this whole new thing. You know, so a couple more people, you know, getting in and being a part of this whole new environment and stepping outside the system. You know, my one friend who was here with him, Doug, he's so excited to just get out of the 9-to-5 grind. You know, he's stuck in corporate America. You know, he's not a corporate guy. I mean, that's like me being in corporate America. It's just, it's not going to work. You know, so
people are going to have a whole new opportunities with this moving forward. So
that's what I was telling. I was basically telling them, like, listen, you know, if you guys want to get into cryptos or something, take whatever it is in life that you enjoy and that you're most passionate about, and put crypto on the end of it and figure out how to make them work. It's like you can do anything you want at these days and have it be part of the crypto space and be part of the crypto field. There's so many different opportunities, and if the opportunity is not there, there's still so many different, you know, there's still even more possibilities than there are opportunities at this point, you know?
Definitely. I do want to tell everybody, so for Patreon, I put out on June 2nd, this report from SL369 and with some information from Maya, the Vedic astrologer, and they called the drop on the 8th.
Oh, wow.
So I put it out live on the 8th, the morning of the 8th. And but so I'm not sure if everybody was seeing that if you only watched live, because it was posted as a premiere, but it was unlisted. It was only for Patreon first.
Mm-hmm.
And we always do that. So when we do a price prediction video, we do it for our Patreon first for at least 3 to 4 days, sometimes a week, and then we'll put it out publicly.
That's impressive.
Pretty cool. And she's got some information. It's about 20-minute, 16-minute video.
Mm-hmm.
And she talks about this bumpy ride through June, through till the middle of July. And Uncle Cliff's kind of saying the same thing. Mid-July, tell everybody, get in, just get some kind of exposure to it. Buy a little on PayPal, buy a little on Cash App, if nothing else, just to get some exposure, because by the time mid-July comes, it's going to be, it's going to take days to get your KYC on Coinbase. And
yeah, that's a great point.
Hard to get in. So get your ducks in a row now.
That's a great point. A lot of people who have been thinking about it and kicking the idea around, then decide to jump in finally, and then you can't. I had somebody wait 2 weeks for the KYC to be processed through. They'll let you purchase a little bit along the way, but you can't do your full transactions. You can't pull stuff off of the,
and you can't do large amounts when you first get onto Coinbase. They let you do like up to so many $100 or $1,000 or something. Yeah. But if you have in your mind that you're going to go buy 10 grand of Bitcoin on Coinbase, it's not going to happen.
No.
There is a link in my description for Perpetual Assets. You can buy what's called over the counter like that. They have a KYC process, but they get that done pretty quickly. And then you can buy directly from them. We just bought some more yesterday, and we sent a bank wire and got it there. I think it went through before 3:00, and Gus called Charlie at about 5:30 or so and sent a test amount to make sure it was the right wallet, and then sent the balance while we're talking on the phone. So super easy process.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's going to be I might even consider doing something like that at some point, because I'm still kind of iffy of whether I should use my accounts anymore to be doing anything with, since they were hacked, and I don't know how it was hacked still.
Yeah, we've done stuff online and through the exchanges, but then like we had an issue with Binance holding our US dollars and wouldn't let us buy anything. And then finally we got the US dollars back from them, but it was real sketchy, and it took days and days, and we missed the window of buying opportunity. And so just wasn't worth it to us.
To slow accumulate, I always tell everybody my favorite way is just set up the auto. They have a great on Coinbase. They have a great auto purchasing, weekly, monthly, daily. You can set it up whatever you want. And every week you can buy a small amount of, a couple different cryptos, and just, you don't even really feel it coming out of your bank, because it's just, it's a few bucks, and you just slowly accumulate like that. So you have a little skin in the game, and then you could use smaller amounts of cryptos to practice moving around and trading, if that's what you want to do. But moving from wallet to wallet, it's Coinbase is too. What I told my mom not that long ago, she signed up for her first Coinbase account, and if you watch those the ads that they have, they give you some free cryptos for it. So I think she spent about maybe half an hour and got like $45 of cryptos. That's cool. This is my mom. This is the first time she's ever tried to play with wallets or anything like that, and then she used those cryptos to convert into other cryptos, and then practice moving them around to different wallets off of Coinbase onto her Trust Wallet and stuff like that.
I like it.
So, you can practice, and it's free, but it's free. If you screw up with that money, it's not the end of the world, because it was free to start with, and it's just a learning experience.
Cost of your education. Yes.
Yeah, really. And quick here, I know we're just about to finish up. I see Tom here says, have a good interview with my daughter, Lisa.
I'm going to be interviewing his daughter. He is not my father.
Yeah. I'm like, my daughter.
Depends
Lisa.
on where the inflection is on that. No. I'm going to be interviewing his daughter. I totally missed some interviews. I've just been really sick the last couple days. So I've got to get those all rescheduled. But yes, I'm interviewing his daughter. I'm not sure when. I think tomorrow, but we'll be releasing it a little bit afterwards. So.
That's really cool. Really cool. Yeah. Shitcoin 2021 shirt, baby. Look at it.
I like it. I'm jealous.
Look at it. It's a limited edition. I'm just saying. I got to thank you to Rice Crypto for this. He bought me this.
Oh,
Very
Rice
nice
is a
guy.
good guy. Yeah.
He's a very nice guy. Everybody, check out Rice Crypto's channel. Check out Jean
Mhm.
Claude's channel. Check out all our friends' channels. Bitcoin Ben. I haven't seen him, I've seen him, but I haven't talked to him in a while. Had anything with him? Check out Bitcoin Ben. You know, all the guys. You know,
Bix.
yep, Bix and Joe. You know, Snippy. Is he still kicked off? I haven't seen him in a while.
I don't watch him very much.
I love Snippy. I love his videos. He's funny. He's lighthearted, and honestly, I get a lot out of him. So.
Well, that's good. That's good. All right, everybody. You guys take care. We'll see you next time on The New Normal.
Bye.